What's up, guys? So if this doesn't teach you just how quickly your home can lose value in a declining market, let me tell you this quick little story, okay? So this just happened on a transaction. I was working with one of my best agents. And so house is under contract for $340. Yeah, we were asking for some seller contributions, etc., but it wasn't too much. And we just got the appraisal and it came in at $309, $31,000 below what the listing price was, okay? And why did that happen? Here's the crazy part. The seller had a appraisal from December of 2024, so like 10 months ago, essentially, and it appraised for 360, and now it just appraised for 309, okay? Well, this is how quickly your home could lose value. What happened was one of the neighbors of the seller, who had a very similar home with a very similar situation, just basically dropped their pants because they were sick of waiting to get their house sold, and they sold it for a considerably lower price. And that's all it takes, guys. If one of your neighbors who has a similar home to yours all of a sudden just is in a bind and needs to get rid of their house, and they get a lowball offer and they accept it, that's a new comparable sale on the market. And that potentially drops your home value significantly. And that's why it's so important that you list your home not only at a good price that's good for the market, which this seller did. When they listed it, it was a reasonable price, but you also got to keep up with what your neighbors are doing. And if your neighbor just dropped their pants and lowered their price way down and sold that property, now all of a sudden that's a comparable sale on the market. And now this guy just lost $31,000 overnight, practically in a matter of months, on the home value. That's 15%. That's a 15% drop from the 360 appraisal they had before. So there's a lesson for sellers and listing agents. Now, on the other hand, buyers, keep an eye on this. You can get some amazing deals right now. That's a 15% drop. Now, the next seller is probably going to have to drop even further. So if you're a buyer right now, you should be jumping up and down and cheering and looking for those great deals and looking for those sellers that are willing to drop their pants and make a really good deal because they're just sick of waiting, and time is worth more than money, and they just want to sell their house and move on with their life. So for buyers, which I work with buyers, I'm celebrating this because it's helping the market. The market's been in lock because of affordability. And when the home prices drop, we're going to do a lot more transactions for a lot more buyers. And I'm going to be able to help my first-time home buyers, which I really love. So anyway, if you have any questions about lending or any of this type of stuff or any advice, give us a call. Talk to you soon. Bye.